We are still on algebraic expressions. In the previous video, we learned about the number system. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to determine between which two integers a given set lies. We are going to look at two activities. Here's the first one. The question reads, between which two integers do the following sets lie? So we have question letter A, you're given the square root of 48. To answer this question first, you have to know what the square root of 48 is in decimal form. So punching this on your calculators, you should get 6,93. Then we have to look for two numbers, two integers. Don't forget, an integer can be a negative or a positive whole number. So we are looking for a negative or, we are looking for negative or positive integers. Negative or positive whole numbers where this number falls between. Yes, between which this number falls. Okay, so we have 6,93. 6,93 falls between 6 and 7. So the answer for this question is that this set lies between 6 and 7. So you are done with the question. It's simple as that. So question letter B. For this question, you are given negative the cube root of 57. We have to do the same thing. We have to know what this set represents in decimal form. So negative the cube root of 57 in decimal form is negative 3,85. Negative 3,85. So negative 3,85 falls between negative 3 and negative 4, which means this set lies between negative 3 and negative 4. Question letter C, we have negative the square root of 73. Negative the square root of 73 in decimal form is negative 8,54. Negative 8,54. Negative 8,54 falls between negative 8 and negative 9. We are looking for two integers between which our given set lies. So to know those two integers, we first have to write the set in decimal form. After writing the set in decimal form, we are going to be able to determine those two consecutive integers. They have to be consecutive. Okay, so we have this set lying between negative 8 and negative 9. So the last question, we have question letter D. You are given the square root of 34. The square root of 34 in decimal form is 5,83. 5,83. 5,83 falls between 5 and 6. 5 and 6 are the two consecutive integers where between which 5,83 lies or falls. So to answer this question, we just say this set lies between 5 and 6. So we are done with this question. Let's move to the next question. It's question 1.1. State whether each number is rational or irrational. So question 1.1. Question 1.1.1, you are given the square root of 16. So you cannot tell by just looking at the square root of 16 that this number is rational or irrational. The first thing that you should do before determining or before classifying this number is you have to write it in its decimal form. So the square root of 16 is equals to 4. We know that 4 is a real number, and then it can be a natural number, a whole number, and an integer. And this number is rational. Why is it rational? Because it can be written as a fraction. 4 as a fraction can be written as what? 4 over 1, which is the same as 4. So the square root of 16 is rational. And let's go to the next question, which is question 1.1.2. You are given the square root of 7. We have to write the square root of 7 in decimal form. The square root of 7 in decimal form is 2,65, rounded off close to 2 decimal places. 2,65. So 2,65 is irrational. Why? The number is irrational because it cannot be written as a fraction. So the next question that we were given is question 1.1.3. You are given 0,3. So punching 0,3 on your calculators, you should get 3 over 10. So this number can be written as a fraction, which means it is classified as a what? A rational number. So 4 is rational. The square root of 16 is rational. The square root of 7 is irrational. And 0,3 is rational. So we are done with this question. Let's go to the next question, which is question 1.2. Question 1.2 falls under concept number 3, where you are expected to know how to round off real numbers to an appropriate degree of accuracy, which in simple terms, you just have to learn how to round off your numbers close to 2 decimal places, 1 decimal place, 3 decimal place. It will depend on what the question requires. So question 1.2 reads round pi to 2 decimal places. So 1.2, you are given pi. So you cannot answer the question when you are just given pi. What you have to do is to write pi in decimal form. Pi in decimal form is when you punch pi on your calculators, you should get 3,14159 up to infinity. In this case, you are required to, I wrote 5 numbers after the comma, and then the question requires us to round off pi to close to 2 decimal places. Rounding off pi close to 2 decimal places, we are going to get what? 3,1 is the first decimal place. The second decimal place can change or remain. It can change or remain the same. It depends on the number that follows. When the number is less than 5, when the number is less than 5 years. When the number is less than 5, the number remains the same. When the number is 5 or greater than 5, when the number is equals to 5 or greater, when the number is greater or equals to 5, you have to add 1 to this number. The second value is, because they said you should round off close to 2 decimal places. So since the number that follows 4 is 1, you just leave it as it is. The answer is just 3,14 or 3,14. Okay, let's go to the next question. Question 1.3. Round the following to 3 decimal places. So even in this question, you are required to round off your numbers. So question 1.3, you are required to round off the square root of 5 close to 3 decimal places. So you cannot just round off this number without writing it in its decimal form. So the square root of 5 in its decimal form is 2,2360, 607. So I've written 5 numbers after the comma. Rounding this number close to 3 decimal places, we are going to have 2, then I write 2 numbers after the comma, which are 2, 3. So the third number can change or remain the same. It will depend on the number that follows. So in this case, the fourth number is 0, which means this number is less than 5. So we have to leave 6 as it is. We don't have to add 1 to it. So it will just be 2,236. So the next question is question 1.3.2. You are given 7,12648, and then you are required to round off this number close to 3 decimal places. So rounding this number close to 3 decimal places, we are going to get 3, after the comma you write 2 numbers, and then you look at the fourth number. So the fourth number is 4. The number is less than 5, which means we are going to leave 6 as it is. Let's say you were given 8,1478, and then you were asked to round off this number close to 3 decimal places. Rounding this number close to 3 decimal places, you are going to get 8,14. Then for the third number, you have to look at the fourth number and determine if the number is less than 5 or greater or equals to 5. So in this case, the number is greater or equals to 5. So since this number is greater than 5, 8 is greater than 5, what we have to do is we have to add 1 to 7, which means we are no longer going to have 8,17. It will be 8, the number is no longer going to be 8,147. The number will now be 8,148, rounded off close to 3 decimal places. So let's move to the next question, which is question 1.4. Question 1.4.1. Okay, let me read the question first. Question 1.4 reads, show between which 2 consecutive integers the value lies. Okay, so the first stat that you are given is the square root of 29. We have agreed that to determine those 2 consecutive integers where this sat lies, you have to write the sat in decimal form. So the square root of 29 in decimal form is 5,39. 5,39 rounded off close to 2 decimal places. So 5 falls between the two consecutive. Okay, the square root of 29 is 5,39 in decimal form. So 5,39 lies between 5 and 6. Okay, we are done with question 1.4.1. Question 1.4.2, we are given the square root of 50 and we have to determine between which two consecutive integers does the square root of 50 lies. Okay. Question 1.4.2, we have the square root of 50. The square root of 50 in decimal form is 7,07. So 7,07 lies between 7 and 8. So we are done with this concepts. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.